So focus your mind to this bell sound and follow the sound, please. While following the sound, let your body to settle down, relax your mind, relax your breathing, and relax your thoughts. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So, dear Dhamma friends, before we start meditation session, I will give some guidelines. It will help for you while you practice yourself. So, when it comes to meditation, the important thing is you have to remember to let go this doing part, because always we have an idea to do something. So when you close your eyes, that this inner nature always trying to push ourselves to do something. So releasing yourself and dropping that nature is the important thing. So when it comes to meditation, there are two different mental cultures. So one is tranquility meditation, other one vipassana meditation. So in tranquility meditation, in the first level, we're trying to bring our mind to one point. Calm down our mind. If our mind go here and there, bring it back again and again it and keep it in one place. So another way, we make our mind usable. And make it usable means if the mind become busy, if the mind always go here and there, if the mind always involving with past or the future, we cannot recognize the present moment. So if you cannot recognize the present moment, you cannot understand what is happening in this very moment. You miss the point. So that's why in the beginning, try to bring your mind to the present moment. So for that, we give a mental object as your primary mental object, your inhalation, exhalation. So when the inhalation, exhalation happens, just follow it and recognize it and let it happen as it is. And while it happening, recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation. So not through imagination, not through visualizing, not through thinking about it, but by observing and recognizing the sensation. Through that way, you analyze this is inhalation, this is exhalation. So that is the first step, and it go little by little, little by little, you can go deeper until you attain to tranquility state. So it is different person to person. Some person just closing eyes itself, themselves, they can get into that. But some people, they need some time to settle down. So you don't need to do anything. Only thing is just keep the mind with the inhalation, exhalation. And so then if your mind not settled down, how you can go with it? Then observe the entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation. Knowingly this is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the end. And then some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold, so like that. And go with that rather than changing or rather than make anything happen the way you want, just accept and go with it. So like that, little by little, when the mind settle down with your body, with your breathing, this all three things start to work as one. And as a result of that, you're going to get undisturbed mind. Once you get into this tranquility state, from there, you go to vipassana level of understanding or vipassana level of practice. So in the vipassana level of practice, you drop that all the details you used to observe through inhalation, exhalation. Now you start to go inward and see how the mind experiences it yourself. So as example, in the beginning, you get the feeling. That is the first contact you have with the inhalation, exhalation. And feeling, and then the sensation arises. So in the beginning, just keep it with the feeling and see how when the inhalation happens, how your feelings. And when the exhalation happens, what kind of feelings you get. How you recognize this as inhalation or exhalation. So, and it is not you doing anything, and itself it happening and following that inhalation, exhalation, the change happen, feelings change. And in between this, you are not involving in anything, and not only you, there is no anybody, invisible, any power involving with this change. It itself happening. And following the feeling, sensation change. Following the sensation, formations, thoughts change. Following that, consciousness change. So as example, when the inhalation happens, the way you recognize as inhalation, what you feel or what you get as inhalation through your consciousness completely become different when the exhalations happen. It's a moment by moment process. So it's like a river flow, and the water, the current, everything go with it. So same like with the sensation of the inhalation, exhalation, feelings, sensation, formations, consciousness, this everything change. And observing that change again and again, again and again, staying with knowingly that whatever the feelings, without clinging to that feelings or without that empowering that feelings, without accelerating that feelings, just recognizing that change. So observing it is the vipassana. Why it called vipassana? Because deeply, thoroughly, clearly, to the bottom, to the depth, you see it. So when you are able to see that again and again and again, naturally, your mind start to get out of this becoming nature. The mind start to get out of this clinging, grasping nature. And now you experience impermanent. And in that impermanent, you see there is no anything to settle down in the middle. There is no moment to settle down, be solid. And then you recognizing this unsatisfactory nature. And this any experience is not belong to self. And that is where you recognizing selflessness. So that is how that vipassana level of experience take you to the depth. So within your feelings, sensations, formations and the consciousness. When you're able to recognize impermanent, unsatisfactory nature, selflessness is the highest way that you can see the nature and as well as see yourself, and that is the highest of self-realization. So with that, just practice little bit ourselves. So just get ready yourself and your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say Swapatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we are spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation. So in the beginning, relax your body step by step. Relax your head. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyebrows. Relax your eyes. Relax your ears. Relax your nose. Relax your upper lip and lower lip. Relax your chin and relax your whole face muscles. Relax your teeth and relax your tongue. Relax your mouth and relax your throat and relax your neck. Relax your shoulders, arms, elbow, forearms, palms, fingers, fingertips. Relax your back muscles and relax your spine. Relax your chest and relax your abdominal muscles. Relax your lungs. Relax your heart. Relax your liver. Relax your kidneys. Relax your gallbladder. Relax your pancreas. Relax your small intestine. Relax your large intestine. Relax your all abdominal organs. Relax your buttock. Relax your thigh. Relax your knee. Relax your calf muscles. Relax your foot and relax your toes. Relax your whole body muscles, tendons, ligaments, bone marrows, and whole skeleton. Release the tension in your mind and keep relax your face muscles. Bring your attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area. Deeply and gently breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. Just allow your inhalation, exhalation to happen itself and observe the sensation and recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation. Don't allow your mind to fall into past or the future. Stay in the present moment, following the inhalation, exhalation. Keep the calm and comfort in your mind. Don't resist. Follow the entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation. Some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, or just recognize it. Focus to the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation. Drop all other details. Just follow the change. Bring your attention to your body. Focus your mind to your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire this compound, this village, this city, this state, this country, around this world, and around this universe. Also, as far as we can through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding ourselves like this. So, with clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one, out of anger or ill will, wish anyone any harm. Expand loving kindness and compassion, beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. to all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun. Spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma friends, and as ordinary people ourselves, sometimes we try to change the outside situations according to the way we want, because that we believe this environment is very important for us. Mm, because of that, what we do, we always keep struggling with this outside things and time related with people and situations. So like that, we always try to struggle and change according to the way we want. And sometimes people get tired, especially regarding people. So today we're going to talk about this little bit. So when it comes to life, remember the most important thing, that before you come to any position, any place, there is something else come related to you. So that is the quality of your mind. So mostly that people don't think about this. It's like, as example, when you go to a place, you think it is you, the physically, the person you go. But before you take your body, your mind already go there. And even sometimes before your mind, there is something else going to be there. So as example, before you born, wherever in your position, so what came first? Before you born, what came first? And before you see a person, what came first? So that is what called our karma. So your karma always ahead of you. So this karma is nothing but your bodily, verbally, or mentally action. And it is the result of bodily, verbally, or mentally action. So the thing is, whatever you do in this very moment, related to your body, your mind, your words, it creates an environment around you. And so, and that become kind of energy current take you towards that way. The thing is this, that your physical or mental or verbal actions create this current already, and it create the path. And now already path is there, and then you take this body to a position. And once you go there, maybe you don't like it. So just struggling with outside people or outside situations, you cannot change it. Why? Because you don't see how you came to that point, how you get into that position. There was a hidden link inside you. So in day-to-day life, we try to struggle with, especially with the people and the places or the time and environment. But we don't see the link. So the link is within yourself. So how then you can fix it rather than struggling with the outside? And you cannot just change people sometimes. There are sometimes situations come in life, you cannot do anything. You cannot do anything. You completely, it's kind of like you come to a dead end. You cannot you cannot go anymore. You have to stuck there. And even sometimes there are times come in life, you cannot take U-turns. You cannot change the situation. You cannot go away from it. So then how are you going to deal if you're stuck in that kind of situation? So the very first thing that you have to remember, because some student gave this question, asked this question, asking how they can deal with this situation, especially with people. So now we focusing to outside and thinking, oh, I don't like this person. I don't like this person. So you focus to outside, but you don't see the condition of you. Maybe you change that person, and still, if you don't change your inner condition, what will happen? Even you go to another place, even not the place sometimes, even with the animals, even with the trees, nature, and you're going to get the same kind of discomfort. So that's why in the very first level that you have to remember, there is something go before you. There is something ahead. So that is karma. So the karma means the strength of your bodily, verbally, or mentally action. So it creates the path. So then, in case if you come to a point in life, situation in life, unpleasant, and you don't like, and then maybe difficult, you feel kind of like you're stuck in your life. So the very first thing that you have to remember, you are in trap. So when you recognize you are in trap, what you have to do? The very first thing, don't struggle. Why? If you struggle, you get tired. You get tired. That's the very nature of trap. The very nature of trap, whoever gets stuck there, if the animal try to escape and that struggle, then it get tight, it get more locked. So the same thing with you also, with the environment, with the time, with the nature, with the people. So even with the situation, if you feel kind of like you stuck, the very first thing that you have to remember, don't struggle. Calm down. And then other thing is, start to look, mostly we look through the windows. So when you able to get into kind of this vipassana level of understanding what is happening, you start to see with the window. Mostly we don't do that. We like to see through the window, and sometimes we forget we look through a window. But if you able to see that you look through the window, and at the same time, whatever the view that you see, whatever the landscape that you see, if you able to include the window also to that landscape, and you're going to see something else. That is what? It is your position. So same like in mind also, when we see other people, when we see other conditions, when we put a label, and this is difficult, hard, bad, I don't like this, I want to get out of this, like that. When we see others, we forget in what condition we see, in what kind of window, through what kind of window we see other people. And sometimes, as example, like this, you get angry, but you don't see it. And with that anger, maybe you see somebody, and then what happening? And you get disturbed about the other person and thinking that other person is don't like, that other person is bad, other person is wrong. But you don't see that your anger create that situation more worst. So, and if you are unhappy, and if you are sad, worry, with that condition, what you see, sometimes not going to be pleasant. So then why you say that other person or other situation or other the environment is wrong? Because maybe you see through the window, but you don't see the window. So then yourself get into a position always, whatever the situation come, rather than looking the outside, and start to see your condition. You can change a lot, because we can when it come to the final point, remember, we cannot change others. Don't try to do it. You're going to break yourself. You cannot do. Maybe you have seen like wrestling, like aikido, like judo. When there is a point come, you know that this mixed martial art, there is a point come, if somebody choke, you know, you tap. That's mean that's done, finish. You cannot go, you cannot hold anymore. Why? Otherwise you break it. So same like in life, remember, the very first thing, if an idea come to you to thinking to change other person, no, it's kind of like a tapping. Don't do that, because you're going to break it yourself, not others. So understanding that principle itself allow you to little bit calm down and relax. But if you start to think with the egocentric mind, no, I can do it, and you know that I am the boss, I can do it, I have done it in the past, or like that. And sometimes we get into situations and we go into inside the trap, and we don't see in different ways, we get tight. So then how we can get out of this? So I tell you, you can get out of this through this technique. You can get out of through any kind of trap in the sansaric journey. You cannot, no any trap can hold you. It doesn't matter how hard, how difficult, how bad. Even you go to the any kind of bad people, the most difficult bad place is the hell, and the most difficult people that we can deal with the demons. So this all invisible around us in the human form sometimes. So then how you can get out of the trap? So this is the technique. Remember, as I mentioned, before you get into trap somewhere in this journey, so your karma ahead before you. So then that the karma means your bodily, verbally, and mentally actions. So wherever you are, whatever the position, just remember yourself and start to change your bodily, verbally, and mentally actions. And in 3 ways. What are those 3 ways? Greed, hatred, and delusion. And sometimes that we have common sense, and we go school and we go to universities, we studies and these things, and then we get certificates and rewards, and so everybody see, oh, you are so educated person. And sometimes we don't see the where the ignorance hide. So mostly most difficult part that we cannot see, more than the hatred, the greed, that is all over our body. Each and every cell sometimes full with the function with the greed, mostly. So if you cannot see that, maybe that is the biggest ignorance. So as example, you have a degree that maybe, so whatever the science or the technology, but how about if you eat too much sugar and get diabetes? And how about that you are a scientist and then you smoke and get lungs disease? So where that the wisdom or the knowledge? And you are kind of like a well educated person, but how about in day-to-day life, you come to a point you do very silly things. That the silly means behavior with the greed, maybe just eating in the middle of the night, in the middle of the night, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., sometimes you wake up and eat cereal. People really do that, and they need to eat cookies, sleeping and half sleeping, and they eat cookies. They need candy, that everywhere, sometimes in their house, in everywhere, nuts, whatever, wherever, even when they go to bathrooms, they are nuts. They take and eat. So this is like that. I have seen it, and I ask sometimes, why you eat this much? And what, when you eat? No, when I have, time, when I feel to eat something, this is very good. So and they try to offer me also, So that's the important, the greed all over us. So then be very careful in your life, whatever the situation come, because it has power to multiply, accelerate our deeper greed inside. We don't see it. So then be discipline yourself, cut down little by little, especially if you feel this is not the life, that this is not the people that you want, this is not the place you want, this is not the environment you want. So it's kind of like, if you feel like you are trapped, as soon as possible, get into the path of the discipline, cut down the greed, especially with the eating. And then the desire to see things, hear things, smell things, associate people, so like that things also, but especially with the greed, the eating. If you able to handle, this is the thing, if you able to handle the eating habit, you can very easily handle that other, all your eye, ear, nose, tongue, the body, mind, that things. Try it. That's why from the ancient time, no, from the ancient time, the people do fasting. In the asceticism, the one of the major important part is cutting the too much intake. They don't eat that much, one meal, mostly one meal per day, because it helps us to reduce this, accelerates the power inside us. So try yourself. Especially if you want to transform your life to a spiritual path from this ordinary life, the very first step that you have to take, and be disciplined with what you eat. Try, then you will see. At least try 1 week. Change your eating pattern and see. That's so. Without knowing sometimes mostly we eat for our desires. We feed to our desires, not our body. So that's why mostly people take vitamins, and that's why people take a lot of extra kind of the energy to feed the desires, not for the body. The body doesn't mean that. Body no need that much food. So the very first thing, that's why we develop big science to go to other planets, maybe go to Mars. We dreaming go there, but in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock, if you cannot stop eating cookies or the cereal or candy or nuts, what the point? Where the mind? So that's why, remember yourself, get into eating discipline. Don't afraid to say no to whatever the things that other people eat. But you don't need to eat like that. So change the desire with the greed and the hatred, anger. So it come in different ways. Even sometimes the anger come in kind of like in very friendly ways. We don't see that. But that's why you have to develop the loving kindness meditation without any conditions, thinking, may all living beings. So that will help you to release it little bit. So then sometimes you cannot find the anger where it is in your life. You don't see it. Maybe you have anger regarding yourself, maybe you have anger regarding your parents or the brothers, sisters, or the friends and family members. Maybe you have the anger regarding your husband, wife, children. In different ways, you don't see it. And sometimes you cannot find it. It is so dark, deep. So then what you have to do? And start to apply the medicine. Wherever it is okay. So what is the medicine that you, every day, morning, night, just have a thought, may all living beings be well and happy. Don't put any condition. Really mean it yourself. That you will see that from most of the traps, difficulties, you're going to get out. It is kind of like a magic pill. It is kind of like a red pill. And may all living beings be well and happy. You're not going to get into wrong people. So even you get into that kind of people, because there are worldly conditions we cannot change. Even you get into that kind of situation, so the people's environment, there is no harm going to be. There is no kind of like a bad going to happen. It always going to divert you to something good, something good. So then yourself get out of the anger. And if you see it right away, get out of your hand and forgive people. So that is the best gift that you can give to others. Release them, forgive them. Because people do things according to different conditions. sometimes they have no idea it is bad. So maybe you get hurt, but they don't know even you got hurt. So then yourself, it is better forgive them and develop the loving kindness yourself. And the ignorance, sometimes it is inherent within us and we cannot see it. So then keep the open heart yourself, open mind, and every day try to learn something. And look for, rather than looking and counting your difficulties, trouble and unhappiness, sadness, worry, and always every day look for something good and learn something yourself. And be related with something and be harbor and anchoring to some kind of path of wisdom. Any religion, it doesn't matter. And when you go to that, if you, I tell you here something, rather than going to this bestseller books, it is a marketing. This bestseller book, if you have money, you can get that title. Even for any junk, any ignorance, that edition, you can make it a bestseller book if you have money. If you have a good investor, that you can get it. It's like the TV. They put anything. They put as advertisement anything. They don't care if you give the money. So same like that. But if you able to get into the authentic teachings rather than these people's ideas, rather than these secret books, get into the authentic the knowledge, and that is where you can find the real wisdom. So it is available. Anybody, if you are Buddhist, you can go to Buddha's the Tripitaka Sutra once a while, little bit, even the Dhamma Pada, that anybody can read it. So you go online and just even YouTube, there are people now reading books for you. If you don't like to read there, that you can hear the audio. You go to Dhammapada, you go to Tripitaka. So you hear it little bit, not too much. And then if you are Catholic Christian, you go to the Bible and you hear a little bit every day. There are apps and that every day one chapter, little bit, one page. You download it and just keep hearing. Rather than reading others these ideas or the books, it is sometimes not valid what they think about life. Why? Because you are in a completely different situation. And if you are Muslim, then you go to Quran and read it, rather than listening to some other people's and trying to brainwash you. You go to the original teachings and you see it. So like that, always look the authentic teachings and try to accumulate wisdom through that. So that way you find a path, and whatever the condition, try this for 7 days. Whatever the people, whatever the difficulties, whatever the problems. So it's kind of like way that you transform. That doesn't mean that people are going to change. No, the condition in your mind going to become changed, and you become more comfortable person to go with and bear the situations, and you don't get disturbed out of it. That is the most, that the beautiful thing that if you can develop. And also that is the most dangerous things for other people. Why? If you don't get disturbed from anybody, then that other people are going to afraid for you. So yourself, then no one going to get closer to you and put in you a trap. Why people come and disturb you? Because they know out of that, whatever they do, you get disturbed. But once they know you are not going to get disturbed, they're going to go away from you. And there are two places sometimes people come and disturb. One is if you are too weak. Remember, a lot of people are going to come. That's the very behavior even with the animal also. It's this animal behavior. If you are weak, most of people are going to disturb you. Even your husband, wife, children, friends and family members, brothers, sisters, and neighbors. So another one is, if you are strong, no one going to touch you. Try it. That strong mean it can be physically, mentally, and economically. So in different ways. But if you are strong, people are not going to disturb you. So this is one way. You are, once you become strong spiritually, that disturbance not going to happen to you. So otherwise, if you are weak, that weakness is your responsibility, not others, because you neglect yourself. That's why you become weak spiritually yourself. So then no one can stop you if you start to become strong spiritually and get out of that yourself greed. And then if you are able to get out of the anger, and if you are able to get out of the ignorance yourself, most of the disturbances going to go away. If you look back, as I mentioned, whatever the position you come, before you come to that place, your mind, your very nature create a path for you to go to that place. If you take time and observe yourself, whatever the difficulties came to you, or whatever you think it is bad, horrible, sad, unhappy, take time and start to look. You will see there is a reason within yourself. That's why you had to experience that. So changing yourself through this greed, hatred, and the delusion, and taking out this nature, purifying yourself, and you find a way to release the trap. And it is not for one day. Even in the sansaric journey, you're not going to get into that kind of difficult time. So I think this will help for you. And try yourself. And without trying, just hearing, maybe this doesn't work. So you have to try, at least try for 7 days, and then you will see. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vivajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata ca ammihi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sambe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sambe sattanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vanghotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.